gasket on it looks quite decent, so we kept that. I would have replaced it if I had a spare, but I don't have one on me. I'm pretty certain it's going to seal absolutely fine though. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't, it's just a few bolts. I'll chuck one on. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. So that's just slid straight on, which I didn't think it wouldn't. We've hooked it up at the front of the engine. Now what we're going to be doing is making sure this is behind the frame just here. It has to be behind. And then what we're then going to do is put the bolt in, which is that one. And now I'm going to put a nut behind it. It was a bit fiddly, but it's on now. So it's still resting. If I had the rear bracket, that'd be going on too. But as you can see, the front's not lined up, so what I'm going to do is line the front up first. So I'll put a bit of spray on the threads. I can feel it slowly compressing the down pipe on now. There we go. That's tight. Tight. And then I'm gonna, there we go, that's nice and tight. And now we've also just got to check that the end can's got clearance all the way around. Yeah, so we've got clearance all the way around. It is missing the bracket. I'm going to tell them to try and get one ordered. I don't know why. If that spring, now if that spring drops off, it still won't come off, but still want something on the back of that, don't we? So the exhaust on, now we just got to get the tank on it and see if it starts, I think. I'm just going to double check a lot of different things though. So now what we're going to be doing is putting the tank on. And then this one was actually just sat in there anyway. I'm not tightening these up yet. I need to go and remove this bolt because if you watch the whole video, it got stuck in the tank. So here's that bolt. You can get a 13 on this side, just here. 10 here to separate it. Now what's happened is there's been no washer under here, so it's bottomed out, the nut has, and that's why it's locked in. So instead of that undoing, it's took it with it. And that also can happen if it just seizes generally as well, but this you can see here, because it's loose, it's bottomed out. That's why it's happened. So I've got my 10 here. That is tight. Oh, I've got it. Some people just think keep going even if it's tight. That was tight. For a little 10mm. Right, I've got it now. So this is getting fitted now. I just realised it was a bit high and then I thought, oh, do you know what, I'll adjust my ramp. So here it is. That's now in. There we go. And now I've just got to pump the tank in. So I'm just going to put some spray. Yeah. Just helps with the rubbers, big time. Spray and rubber. Just saves the day really. So I'm just going to put the fuel line in. So we've already checked the O-rings all good. Just pops in here, like so. Make sure it's nice and directly down. Slide it on gently, and then just a big press like so. Don't forget that locking tab. So remember to put the positive on first. So I like to put the bolt in to the terminal first. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bolt back into the terminal. There we go, nice and tight. Turn the ignition on now. There we go. We can hear the pump priming a bit. So I'm going to take it out of gear. Hopefully it does it. Not any stress. Nice. Turn it off and on a few times. Just want to get that fuel pump primed. Sounds better now. I'm going to give it a go. Sometimes it can take a bit of cranking just to get them started. Oh, the neutral light is not happy. There we go, it's the wire. There we go, sorted. Hopefully it'll start now. That's just ticking over now. Seems good. For some reason there's an engine light on now. I don't know if that was on previously. Could have been. But it isn't to do with me, and I don't have my system to turn it off, so I'm gonna have to get him on that. So we're just testing it now. Don't worry about a bit of smoke coming off it. It's just a bit of oil and WD residue usually. Not a serious situation that. Bit of residue. Sounds good so far. I'm going to check the oil in about 1 minute. So now we're going to put the tank cover on. Need to make sure all this is as it should be. We're going to put the tank cover on now. Obviously we've got to take the fuel cap off to do this. You need to make sure you've not knocked this seal here, because sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. Sometimes when you lift it out it'll pull this bit here out too. And then when we're going to fit this, we need to open the sides nice and wide so it goes around the side of the tank. Now to put it straight as well. There we go. So I always put the front on-ish first, and then as we can see, that's it. So as soon as that tank goes on, it feels like it's pretty much back together, which is pretty crazy. So we're just on this back corner of the MT, and we're going to be putting in this crosshead bolt here. So you want to make sure that you do not push this in dead hard, because it's on like a floating rubber grommet with a thread in it, threaded insert. So if you push it in, you're going to just push the insert out of the chassis where it sits. And then just tighten it up, not too tight because you will just crack the plastic. And then we've got the same again on this side here. I'm pretty sure these should have little tiny washers on. So not too tight because you will crack it. Now we're going to be doing the 10mm bolt that sits just here. So this didn't have a washer on, so I'm going to put my own washer on. And then the 10mm. So hopefully now it won't bottom out. The threads don't feel too great. So that's tight. There we go, we don't have any movement now or play, so that means that's correct. Now that we put the 10mm bolt on and it's all good, if you've got your cap, put your cap on. Just makes it look a bit neater. So the next part of this operation is this panel, which is going back on. So if you remember rightly, we took a 6mm Allen key bolt out, so we've got a nice bit of flex. So it's the same principle again. We're going to have to flex this piece as we hook it under. Now this tab here, don't forget, hooks underneath, so that needs to be underneath at the same time as this sliding behind, like so. So it's better to angle it a tiny bit as you slide it in, just like so. So now that's in place, we've got a bolt that sits right here, we've also got another bolt that sits here, and another bolt that sits here, and then another bolt that's here. The customer likes these red Chinese bolts. Well, I don't know if they're specifically Chinese, but usually they're from China. And they aren't really that good. The footy on.
Oh, just let you know the football's on.
Okay, I'll be in 1 minute.
Alright, someone just scored but it was offside.
Alright, love you.
Love you, bye bye.
Bye bye. So we've got this bolt to go in now. I'm not a very big fan of these bolts at all. I think they're terrible. I've had to drill so many of them out. At this stage, we can now proceed with putting the seat on. When putting the seat on, this bit here needs to go in this little bit here. So when you put it on, if you just push that in, there you go. There's the seat. So when you fit in these scoops, you've got two rubber bungs here, and obviously the panel sits in it. So what I tend to do is, just to help fitment, with it being plastic, sometimes they get a bit sticky and stuck. Just helps it slot straight in. Don't forget to plug your indicator in while you're at it. So, plug my indicator in. I'm just going to line it up to where it should be. I'm going to slowly just give it a little press. It slotted in that easy. I didn't even feel it slot in. That's because of the bit of lube it's got. Now what I'm going to do is proceed with doing this bolt that's right here. You do need to pitch this on that angle just there. So this needs to be on this correct angle.
So as you're doing this up, when you start to thread in the bolt, you need to make sure it is on this angle and not kinks are out. You'll feel it. If it doesn't go in straight away and it feels a little bit tight, just pull the bolt straight back out and then try and re-angle it to where it feels a bit smooth. I've seen a lot of these get cross-threaded.
So we're now going to be putting this bolt in, that's just here, and I'm not going to show you putting it in because the VIN number is just there, and I'm not going to be able to edit that out.